Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the paper talk. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen. It's a quick little paper talk before we jet off for the United States of America. Adam McCullough's already over there. Myself, Stephen Howson, Joe Smith, going to be joining in. We'll fly out today, but we thought before that, we'll do a paper talk. Also, don't forget later on today, you'll have the watch along for United's game against Lyon. You'll have the likes of David, I think it's actually Joe McGrath. I think he's on today, who's doing the watch along. I think Nathan Ellington might be on it as well, and a couple of others. So make sure you are hitting that like, share, and subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything, because we've got you covered. We've got you covered for the tour. We've got you covered for games. We've got you covered for everything. We're going to be doing loads of content on the tour as well. So make sure you do check that out. Loads of videos, myself, Steve, Maka, doing podcasts, doing previews, doing reviews, doing some stuff with ex-players as well, hopefully doing some stuff with current players as well, and doing press conferences and all that jazz. I'm going to go through a couple of stories that are doing the rounds. First of all, Andre Onana. It looks like there was a bit of a thing, for want of a better word, going around social media last night about his flight. Apparently he went to Birmingham. There's a little bit of a delay, all that stuff. We're expecting him in Manchester today, or he's probably in Manchester already by the time you're watching this anyway. Should be a done deal. He's got to complete everything, get his medical done. Should be a done deal within probably hours, to be honest with you. I don't know if you're going to get an announcement today. It might be tomorrow with the game being on today, but imminently has never been more appropriate than when it comes to Andre Onana. He gave a little bit of an interview as well. I saw some quotes from it earlier, speaking about Manchester United and about Champions League as well. He said he hopes to win the Champions League with Manchester United. That's doing the rounds in pretty much all the papers, as you'll be able to find it. So he's making the right noises. I've seen it here in the Daily Mirror, just so I can get the quotes right. He was speaking about it, and he said, I think he'd said previously to Gazzetta dello Sport, it says, the important thing is to be honest and always tell people the truth. I'm a person who always wants new challenges. Playing in the Premier League for a club like United is irresistible. All parties wanted this to happen. So he talks about, how that it was something that we obviously wanted to make happen, and it has done. He spoke about the Champions League final against City. We were close to touching it. We deserved it. We played against City head on. Only details were missing, but this is football. Personally, I hope to win the Champions League with United, but I also hope that Inter replay a final and win it. So he's making the right noises there. A little nod to, obviously, to Inter Milan, where he's come from. Hopes they do well. And to Manchester United, of course, he wants to win the Champions League. You want players who want to win the top trophies. I know it's a bit of an obvious one, but there's been times in the past where you feel like United's ambition has been sort of top four and just to maybe in the conversation with a title challenge. You want players who are coming in and saying, look, I want to win the Champions League. That's what I'm about. I've been in a Champions League final. I'm coming to a club like Manchester United because I want to win the Champions League. So obvious statements, but ones that are good to hear. Just on other news, the main story doing the rounds, obviously, is this Rasmus Hojlund link. Manchester United and Rasmus Hojlund. It does seem like there is a little bit of movement there. We reported this yesterday, me and Joe, on Transfers Live. The players agreed terms. It's now just for the clubs to get together and make a deal happen. I think there was a bit of a gap in the valuation. Inter wanting closer to 65 million euros, United wanting to pay closer to 50, which makes sense. But that gap isn't insurmountable. You think there can be a deal made there. However, if a deal isn't made, and forgive me, this is a thing that was from yesterday afternoon, but it's the first time I'm mentioning it, then there's reports that United could look at Kolo Muani from Eintracht Frankfurt. A little bit older, I think he's 24 years old, but United are sort of looking at other options. So it's not just all on Hojlund. Now, you might say that's a bit of kidology from United, the same way we were looking at Casado when we went in for Mount. But there might be something in it. Muani, obviously, had a great season at Frankfurt. You need more than just one option, because if Hojlund falls through, then what are you going to do? You need a striker. Manchester United desperate for number 9. In an ideal world, I think we'd get both. I've been saying all along we need to buy 2 strikers, but the fact that we are linked with someone else makes a little bit of sense to me. Rob Dawson is the one who covered it, and he just says Hojlund is a key target, but Atalanta want at least 70 million euros. It's been reported elsewhere that might be down to 65. A valuation that United don't believe is a fair reflection for the 20-year-old who is at the beginning of his career. Goes on to talk about what Hojlund's done, 9 goals in 32 games in Serie A. but has not yet hit 100 senior appearances since making his debut for Copenhagen during the 2021 campaign. Then goes on to talk about Kolo Muani, saying the 24-year-old is high up on manager Erik ten Hag's list of options after scoring 23 goals for Eintracht Frankfurt last season. So maybe there is something in that. I don't know, maybe you look here and you go, okay, there could be a little bit of something in the Muani story. We'll keep you posted as always. We're going to be on the tour, like I said. You've got to watch along later on. Make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. Loads of content coming over from the US tour and content from the studio as well. We've got you covered on Stretford Paddock. I've been Jay Motti. This has been a little short and sweet paper talk before we head off to the US. Thanks for watching.